Imagine living in a world where the opinions, judgments, and criticisms of others have no power over you. A world where negativity simply rolls off your back like water gliding effortlessly off a duck's feathers. No matter what is said or done around you, your inner peace remains untouched, your clarity unshaken, and your heart open. This is not just a dream. It can be your reality. In today's fast-paced and often chaotic world, it's easy to become overwhelmed by external voices. The expectations of others, harsh criticism, and even casual negativity can cloud our minds and disturb our emotional well-being. But what if there was a way to remain centered and calm, no matter what storm rages around you? In this video, we invite you on a journey of transformation, a path guided by the timeless wisdom of Buddhism. Drawing from the deep well of Buddhist philosophy, we will explore 8 powerful lessons that can help you cultivate emotional resilience, mental clarity, and unshakable calm. These teachings are not abstract theories. They are practical insights you can apply to your daily life, helping you face challenges with grace and respond to others with compassion instead of reactivity. Each lesson is designed to help you detach from the need for external validation, let go of emotional triggers, and respond to life's difficulties with equanimity and strength. You'll learn how to observe your thoughts without being consumed by them, how to recognize the impermanence of all things, including criticism and praise, and how to return to your center no matter what arises. As we walk this path together, you will begin to notice a shift. You'll find yourself reacting less and understanding more. You'll experience a quiet confidence that comes not from arrogance, but from inner stillness. Most importantly, you'll realize that peace does not come from controlling the world, but from mastering your response to it. Join us on this empowering journey. Discover how Buddhist teachings can guide you to act as if nothing bothers you, not by becoming numb, but by becoming free. Let's cultivate the wisdom, peace, and compassion that allow us to live with serenity in a noisy world. The path to unshakable calm begins now. Principle 1. Do not hate those who hate you. It is a natural human reaction to feel hurt when others criticize, despise, or discriminate against us. Words can wound, and unfair treatment can leave deep emotional scars. However, the path to true peace and inner strength does not lie in responding to hate with more hate. Instead, Buddhism teaches us a higher way, to rise above negativity and refuse to be pulled into the cycle of anger and resentment. When someone harbors hatred toward us, it often reflects their own inner struggles rather than any true insight into who we are. Those who spread hate are typically battling their own fears, insecurities, and misunderstandings. Their cruelty is a projection of their inner turmoil, a desperate attempt to rid themselves of pain by passing it on to others. But we do not have to accept the burden they try to hand us. Choosing not to hate those who hate us is not a sign of weakness. It is a profound display of strength and wisdom. It means recognizing that our peace of mind, our self-worth, and our happiness are not determined by the actions or words of others. We are far more powerful, far more resilient, than any negativity directed our way. In fact, by refusing to engage with hatred, we preserve our energy for more meaningful and joyful pursuits. Holding on to hate only poisons our own hearts, while those who harmed us may remain completely unaffected. Why then, should we allow someone who has acted out of ignorance or malice to occupy space in our minds and hearts? Why waste our precious time and emotional energy on those who are, in truth, unworthy of our thoughts? When we release hatred, we free ourselves. We create space for compassion, wisdom, and healing to flourish. We become like a calm, clear lake, untouched by the storms that pass overhead. By refusing to hate, we maintain our dignity and integrity. We affirm that we are masters of our own emotions, not slaves to the cruelty of others. In every moment we choose love over hate, forgiveness over anger, and understanding over bitterness. We take a powerful step toward lasting peace and personal liberation. This is the first and perhaps most essential principle for living with unshakable calm. Do not hate those who hate you. To choose not to hate is not the same as excusing or condoning harmful behavior. It doesn't mean we ignore injustice or pretend that hurtful actions are acceptable. Rather, it means we recognize a deeper truth, that holding on to hatred only causes further suffering, primarily to ourselves. When we carry resentment and anger, it is like holding a burning coal with the intention of throwing it at someone else. We are the ones who get burned. Hatred poisons the mind. It clouds our judgment, disturbs our inner peace, and pulls us away from the clarity and compassion that lie at the heart of who we are. When we allow ourselves to be consumed by bitterness, we lose touch with our true purpose. We become reactive instead of intentional, driven by emotions rather than wisdom. Buddhist teachings offer us another way, a path of liberation. The Buddha taught that true strength lies not in revenge, but in understanding. By choosing to release hatred, we reclaim our power. We become free from the control of those who try to hurt us, no longer tethered to their negativity. In letting go, we rise above the noise of hatred and return to a place of calm, where we can respond rather than react. Let us not waste our precious time and energy obsessing over those who seek to harm or provoke us. Their actions are often the result of their own confusion and suffering. Our time is far better spent cultivating the qualities that uplift and empower us: kindness, patience, compassion, and understanding. These are not signs of weakness. They are the strongest forces we can embody. They transform not only our own lives but also the lives of those around us. When we choose love over hate, peace over anger, and wisdom over reaction, we walk the path of true freedom. We become unshakable, not because the world is quiet, but because we have found stillness within ourselves. So let us follow the wisdom of the Buddha. Let us rise above the shadows of hate and choose instead to be a light that is not dimmed by the darkness of others but shines steadily, even in the face of adversity. Principle 2. Practice humility. Humility is a quiet strength, one that is often overlooked in a world that celebrates boldness, achievement, and self-promotion. Yet the Buddha, in his timeless wisdom, once said, "A man is not called wise because he talks and talks again, but if he is peaceful, loving, and fearless, then he is truly called wise." These words offer profound insight into the true nature of humility, a virtue rooted not in weakness, but in deep inner strength and clarity. In today's fast-paced, success-driven world, humility is often misunderstood. Some view it as self-deprecation or the denial of one's achievements. But true humility is not about pretending to be less than you are. It does not require you to hide your strengths, your talents, or your accomplishments. Rather, it is about recognizing that wisdom, value, and greatness do not lie in loud declarations or constant validation. They reside in presence, in peace, and in the quiet confidence of one who no longer needs to prove their worth. To practice humility is to remain grounded, no matter how high we rise. It is to know that no matter how much we achieve, there is always more to learn. It is the willingness to listen more than we speak, to learn from every experience, and to treat others with respect and kindness, regardless of their status or background. Humility invites us to let go of ego, the part of us that craves praise, recognition, and superiority. It replaces the need to impress with the desire to understand. It shifts our focus from being right to being wise, from being admired to being of service. When we embrace humility, we open ourselves to deeper connections, greater learning, and lasting peace. We no longer feel the need to compete or compare. Instead, we walk through life with a sense of ease, secure in who we are and compassionate toward others. As we continue on the path of mindful living, let us remember this powerful principle. Practice humility not as a performance, but as a way of being. Let your actions speak louder than your words, and let your heart be your greatest teacher. In doing so, we live not just wisely, but beautifully. Humility is not simply the absence of arrogance. It is the quiet, powerful understanding that true wisdom is reflected not just in what we say, but in how we live. It reveals itself in the way we treat others, in our willingness to listen, and in our openness to learn. A truly wise person does not seek validation through eloquent speeches or grand displays of intellect. Instead, they express their wisdom through peaceful presence, loving intention, and fearless compassion. Humility is the gentle strength that allows us to step back and see the world more clearly. It is the awareness that no matter how much we know, there is always more to learn. The humble person does not claim to have all the answers, but approaches life with curiosity and grace. They do not speak to dominate, but to connect. They do not act to impress, but to uplift. A humble heart is a receptive heart. It breaks down the barriers of pride and ego, opening the door to deeper understanding, genuine empathy, and meaningful connection. In practicing humility, we begin to see others not as competition or obstacles, but as fellow travelers on the same journey. We recognize that each person we meet has something to teach us, and that wisdom is often found in the most unexpected places. Humility also invites us to be fully present with others. When we set aside the need to be right or admired, we become better listeners, more compassionate companions, and more mindful leaders. We no longer seek to be the center of attention, but rather a source of support and healing for those around us. This is the essence of interconnectedness, that we are all part of something greater than ourselves. By embracing humility, we honor that truth. We become more patient, more forgiving, and more attuned to the needs of others. And in doing so, we don't just transform our own lives, we illuminate the path for others as well. So remember, true wisdom is not measured by the cleverness of our words, but by the depth of our humility. When we live with a humble heart, we become a living example of compassion, and a steady light in a world that so often longs for kindness. Principle 3. Don't allow others to control your life. Imagine your life as a personal and sacred journey, a long, adventurous hike through a vast, breathtaking forest. Along this path, you will inevitably encounter many people. Some may offer helpful advice, others may share their opinions, and some may even try to steer you in a completely different direction with their judgments and expectations. These individuals are like signposts scattered along the trail, each pointing in different directions based on their own experiences, beliefs, and desires. But here is the truth. This path is yours and yours alone. No one else can walk it for you, and no one else truly knows where it is meant to lead. Your purpose, your joy, and your fulfillment are not determined by the voices around you. They are discovered by listening to the voice within. The Buddha, in his timeless wisdom, offered a guiding light with the words, "Do not dwell in the past, do not dream of the future, concentrate the mind on the present moment." These simple yet profound words remind us that we find our strength, clarity, and direction not in the noise of others' opinions, but in the stillness of now. To live authentically, we must be willing to take ownership of our choices and trust in our inner compass. Letting others control our lives is like giving away the map to our own journey and allowing someone else to lead us down a trail that was never meant for us. When we live to please others, we lose connection with our deepest values and desires. We begin to stray from our own truth. Like a mindful hiker focusing on the trail beneath their feet, we must keep our attention grounded in the present. This moment, right here, right now, is where our power lives. It is in this space that we can make conscious choices, respond with intention, and continue forward with confidence. So do not surrender your path to the noise around you. Listen, reflect, but ultimately, walk your own trail. Let your heart be your compass and your present awareness be your guide. In doing so, you live not according to others' expectations, but in harmony with your own purpose. And that is where true freedom begins. It's essential to approach life with an open heart, to listen with compassion and consider the insights of others. However, equally important, if not more so, is the ability to trust your own inner wisdom. Deep within you lies a quiet voice, your intuition, shaped by your values, experiences, and aspirations. This voice is your true guide, your inner compass, and it deserves your trust. You are the captain of your own life. No one else can chart your course or steer your ship. The world will offer countless suggestions, paths to take, roles to play, versions of success to chase. You will hear opinions from loved ones, friends, and even strangers. Some will be well-intentioned, others not. But ultimately, the choice of direction is yours alone. You have the right and the responsibility to choose the path that resonates with your soul. By learning to ground yourself in the present moment and make decisions from a place of authenticity, you gain clarity. You stop seeking approval and start seeking truth. Your truth. This doesn't mean you disregard others, but that you filter outside input through the lens of your own inner knowing. When your choices are aligned with who you truly are, You walk through life with quiet confidence and deep-rooted peace. The journey may not always be easy. There will be moments of doubt, and the noise of others' opinions may grow loud. But when you are anchored in your values and guided by your heart, you become unshakable. You learn to pause, breathe, and return to your center. You begin to see that living authentically is not a destination. It's a practice, a daily commitment to honoring your own path. So remember, your life is a unique masterpiece in the making. No one else can paint it for you. Stay true to who you are. Trust the compass within, even when the way forward feels uncertain. Don't let the voices of others drown out the wisdom that lives in your own heart. The world may try to sway you, but you are here to walk your own journey. A journey that is beautifully, powerfully, and entirely yours. Principle 4. Listen twice as much as you speak. In a world that often values being heard more than hearing, the art of true listening has become rare, but it remains one of the most powerful tools for connection and understanding. This principle invites us to slow down, to be present, and to listen twice as much as we speak. It's a practice that reveals the deeper layers of human experience, far beyond the surface of spoken words. The Buddha once said, "To understand everything is to forgive everything." At first glance, this may sound like a simple call for forgiveness. But it is, in fact, a profound invitation to develop deep, empathetic understanding. An understanding that can only be accessed through conscious and compassionate listening. True listening is not just about waiting for your turn to speak. It's not passive. It's active, intentional, and deeply engaged. It means listening not only with our ears but with our hearts. It means observing the emotions behind the words, sensing the silences in between, and recognizing the needs, fears, and hopes that often remain unspoken. When we listen more and speak less, we create space, not just for others to share, but for ourselves to grow. We open a doorway to wisdom. We begin to see the world from multiple perspectives, to appreciate the richness of the human journey, and to dissolve barriers created by misunderstanding or assumption. In this way, listening becomes a quiet yet transformative act of strength. It is not about being silent out of fear or submission, but about choosing to hold space for others with an open heart and a peaceful mind. When we listen deeply, we affirm the humanity in others. We make them feel seen, heard, and valued. Through this practice, we also become more compassionate individuals. Empathy blooms where judgment once stood. And in understanding others, we often discover new dimensions of ourselves. So let us embrace this wisdom. Speak mindfully, but listen deeply. Allow silence to be fertile ground for insight. In a world full of noise, choose to be the presence that listens. For in that sacred act, we bridge divides, foster healing, and contribute to a more compassionate and connected world. When we truly listen, we do more than simply take in information. We open the doorway to wisdom, insight, and deeper understanding. Listening refines us. It shapes our perspective, expands our awareness, and allows us to respond with greater thoughtfulness and clarity. The words we do speak, when they finally emerge, are more powerful. They are measured, compassionate, and rooted in a deeper sense of truth. But the act of listening extends far beyond conversations with others. It is a way of engaging with the entire world. When we listen carefully, we begin to notice the soft rustling of leaves in the wind, the gentle rhythm of our own breath, the quiet presence of nature, and even the silent stories written in another person's eyes. We become attuned not only to what is spoken, but to what is felt, what lives beneath the surface. Listening allows us to witness the unspoken struggles of those around us, to recognize pain where words have failed, and to offer support without needing to be asked. It's in this subtle, attentive awareness that compassion is born. We begin to understand that every person, every creature, every moment has something of value to teach us, if we are willing to be still and truly listen. Even the silence within us speaks. When we pause and tune into our inner world, we become aware of our own thoughts, emotions, and intuitions. We uncover truths that may have been buried beneath the noise of daily life. In this quiet introspection, we find a connection to something deeper, a sense of clarity, of peace, of purpose. By choosing to listen twice as much as we speak, we cultivate a life of intention. We become more patient, more empathetic, and more connected to those around us. We begin to see how all things are interconnected, how every being has a story, and how even the smallest moment can hold profound meaning. Listening, then, is not a passive act. It is a sacred practice, a path to understanding, a doorway to peace, and a bridge between hearts. Through the practice of deep listening, we don't just hear more, we see more, feel more, and live more fully. Principle 5. Accept the worst in life. One of the greatest sources of suffering in our lives is not the hardships themselves, but the fear of what might happen. We imagine the worst, the loss of a job, the betrayal of a loved one, financial collapse, or some other misfortune lurking just beyond the present moment. These fears, though rooted in uncertainty, often occupy our minds like uninvited guests, whispering endless what-ifs that rob us of peace and clarity. Every day, a new fear may arise, a new worry, a fresh wave of anxiety. We become trapped in a cycle of anticipating disaster, bracing ourselves for events that may never come. This constant vigilance wears us down and clouds our inner stillness. It pulls us away from the richness of the present and leaves us stranded in imagined futures filled with dread. But Buddhism offers us a powerful shift in perspective. The Buddha taught that suffering is an unavoidable part of life. Pain, loss, and change are not signs that life is broken. They are fundamental aspects of existence. However, it is not the suffering itself that causes the deepest pain, but our resistance to it. Our desire for life to be only pleasant and predictable becomes the root of our anguish. When we demand only ease and happiness, we set ourselves up for disappointment. Life, by its very nature, includes both joy and sorrow, gain and loss, birth and death. Instead of clinging to the illusion of control or perfection, the Buddha encouraged us to embrace impermanence. Everything changes. Nothing stays the same. And that's not a curse. It's a truth that can set us free. To accept the worst in life does not mean to become pessimistic or to give up hope. Rather, it means to make peace with reality, to acknowledge that challenges will come, and that we are strong enough to meet them. By accepting this truth, we liberate ourselves from fear. We stop resisting the flow of life and begin to move with it, calmly, wisely, and with compassion. In embracing impermanence, we open ourselves to a deeper resilience. We no longer waste energy fearing the unknown, but instead rest in the steady awareness that whatever comes, we can handle it. This is true peace, not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of unwavering inner strength. In Buddhism, we are taught that suffering is not something to be avoided at all costs, but something to be faced with equanimity. Instead of running from pain or resisting challenges, we learn to meet them with openness and clarity. This shift in perspective allows us to understand that hardship is not an anomaly in life, but rather a natural part of the human experience. It is when we train our minds to expect difficulties as an inevitable part of life's journey that we free ourselves from the constant weight of worry and fear. By acknowledging that life will present both joys and hardships, we can approach challenges with a sense of strength and clarity. We stop allowing uncertainty to dictate our emotions. Instead of being swept away by fear or anxiety about the future, we trust in our ability to handle whatever comes our way. This practice empowers us to face difficulties with courage, knowing that each experience, whether painful or joyful, is an opportunity for growth and learning. When we shift our mindset in this way, we cultivate a peace that is rooted in the present. We no longer become disturbed by imagined fears of what might happen, for we are grounded in the knowledge that we are fully capable of navigating whatever life has in store. We approach every situation with a calm and courageous heart, understanding that no matter how difficult the challenge may seem, we have the tools within us to face it with grace and resilience. Let us then adopt this powerful practice. Accept the worst. By doing so, we free ourselves from the grip of fear. When we accept that suffering and hardship are not signs of failure but a natural part of life's ebb and flow, we stop fighting against them. This acceptance doesn't mean resignation. Rather, it is an active, mindful acknowledgement that we are prepared to face whatever life brings our way. Through this shift in thinking, we cultivate inner peace and resilience. We learn to approach life's inevitable ups and downs with a steady heart and clear mind. And in doing so, we discover that nothing can truly disturb our inner peace, for we are already prepared to meet each moment with wisdom, grace, and an open heart. Principle 6. Be aware of the dangers of fortune. The Buddha, in his timeless wisdom, reminds us that true fulfillment does not lie in the accumulation of material wealth or the external symbols of success. As he taught, health is the greatest gift, contentment the greatest wealth, and faithfulness the best relationship. These profound words encourage us to look beyond the fleeting nature of material possessions and to cultivate a life grounded in simplicity, gratitude, and meaningful connections. In our modern world, we often measure success by what we own, the cars we drive, the houses we live in, and the comforts we surround ourselves with. These material markers are often equated with happiness, and we find ourselves constantly chasing after them in the hopes of finding lasting contentment. Yet the Buddha's teachings urge us to reflect on the impermanence of all things. All the possessions we cherish, the latest gadgets, the finest clothes, the biggest house, are temporary. They are subject to decay, change, and eventual loss. While these material comforts can provide momentary joy, they should never become the central focus of our lives. True wealth, according to Buddha, lies not in the things we own, but in the contentment we cultivate within ourselves. Contentment is the art of finding peace and joy in the present moment, appreciating what we have rather than constantly striving for more. It is about recognizing the richness of life that exists in the here and now, without needing to add more external rewards or symbols of success. The essence of contentment can be found in the simplest moments: an unexpected smile from a friend, the warmth of a shared meal with family, or the serenity of a quiet walk in nature. These moments, though small, hold the depth and richness that we often overlook in our pursuit of greater wealth and success. When we stop chasing after what we don't have, we begin to notice how much beauty and peace already surround us. The danger of fortune lies in the belief that happiness is something to be acquired through possessions or achievements. In truth, happiness comes from within. By focusing on cultivating contentment, we free ourselves from the endless cycle of desire and find lasting peace. True fulfillment, as the Buddha teaches, is found in simplicity, gratitude, and the connections we share with others, not in the fleeting treasures of the material world. In our lives, it is the simple moments that truly nourish our souls and fill our hearts with lasting satisfaction. Buddha teaches us that the most valuable treasures are not found in material possessions, but in the relationships we build with others. These connections, founded on faithfulness, trust, and genuine love, are the true building blocks of a fulfilling and meaningful life. It is in the company of those we cherish that we find the deepest support, the most enduring joy, and a sense of belonging that no material object can ever offer. Unlike fleeting material possessions that can be gained and lost, relationships provide a sense of continuity and stability. They anchor us through life's challenges and triumphs, offering comfort when we are down and celebrating with us in times of joy. Whether it's the quiet companionship of a close friend, the unconditional love of a family member, or the trust we share with a partner, these bonds create a foundation for lasting happiness that goes far beyond what any external wealth can provide. As we journey through life, we must remain mindful of the dangers of becoming too attached to material possessions. The desire for more can often cloud our judgment and distract us from what truly matters. It's easy to fall into the trap of believing that happiness is just a step away if we acquire the right things, whether it's the perfect house, the latest gadget, or the status that comes with success. However, Buddha reminds us that true wealth is found not in things, but in our ability to be content with what we already have and to nourish the relationships that truly matter. By focusing on our health, nurturing contentment in our hearts, and fostering connections with those we love, we embrace a more profound and enduring form of wealth. This wealth is not measured by the size of our bank account or the possessions we own, but by the depth of our relationships, the peace in our hearts, and the joy we find in each moment. Ultimately, this path leads to a deeper understanding of life's true purpose. It is a journey of inner peace, lasting happiness, and a connection to something far greater than material success. By cultivating these meaningful relationships and focusing on what truly brings fulfillment, we unlock a wealth that endures through all of life's changes. Principle 7. See failure as a stepping stone. Buddha, the wise and compassionate teacher, once shared a profound insight. Each morning we are born again. What we do today is what matters most. These words encourage us to embrace each day as a fresh opportunity. An opportunity for renewal, growth, and self-discovery. They remind us that the actions we take today shape our path forward. This powerful message calls us to see every challenge not as an insurmountable obstacle, but as an opportunity to evolve, learn, and become stronger. Life is much like a winding path, made up of both light and heavy steps. Some moments will feel easy, filled with joy and laughter, while others will be burdened with difficulties that weigh us down. When we stumble, fall, or encounter challenges along the way, it's easy to become discouraged or to view these moments as failures. But Buddha teaches us a valuable lesson. Every fall is not a defeat. It is simply a chance to rise again, stronger than before. Think of a child learning to walk. In the beginning, each step is a struggle, and falls are inevitable. However, no child ever gives up after a fall. They rise, try again, and with each attempt, they grow more balanced, more confident, and more skilled. The same applies to us in life. Every setback is not a sign of failure. Rather, it is a stepping stone on our journey. Each challenge we face offers valuable lessons that teach us more about our strengths, our resilience, and our ability to overcome. When we view failure through this lens, we shift our perspective. Failure becomes not something to fear or avoid, but an integral part of the learning process. It is through our struggles that we develop the strength and wisdom to move forward. Instead of fearing setbacks, we can welcome them as opportunities for growth and self-improvement. By embracing this mindset, we can approach life's challenges with a sense of calm and confidence. We understand that the path may not always be smooth, but with each stumble, we rise again. With each step, we move closer to becoming the best version of ourselves. So let us not fear failure, but see it as a necessary part of the journey. A stepping stone that propels us forward on the path of growth and transformation. Each mistake we make serves as a valuable lesson, showing us areas where we can grow and improve. Every misstep is not something to regret, but an opportunity to learn, evolve, and become more resilient. Imagine a sculptor, carefully chiseling away at a block of stone to reveal the masterpiece within. In the same way, our challenges and failures help refine us, molding us into stronger, more capable individuals. The process of growth is not always easy, but it is essential for our transformation. Failure, often seen as something to fear or avoid, is simply an inevitable part of life's journey. Just like the sculptor does not fear the stone's imperfections but uses them to create something beautiful, we too can embrace our mistakes as opportunities for self-improvement. When we take risks and try new things, we step into the unknown, and while failure may occur, it is not a sign of defeat. Instead, it is a sign that we are pushing beyond our comfort zones, learning, and evolving. Each setback holds within it the potential for growth. It's not about the number of times we fall, but about how many times we rise again, stronger and wiser than before. Every time we get back up, we build our inner strength, becoming more grounded in who we are and more capable of handling future challenges. This cycle of failure and rising again is not a sign of weakness, but a testament to our resilience and our determination to keep moving forward. The path to self-discovery and personal growth requires courage. The courage to face challenges head-on, to embrace uncertainty, and to take risks. It is through this courage that we unlock our potential and move closer to the person we are meant to be. Each challenge we face, each failure we encounter, teaches us more about ourselves and helps us grow in ways we never imagined. So let us not fear failure, but instead, let us welcome it as a crucial part of our journey, knowing that it brings us one step closer to realizing our true potential. Principle 8. Always remember that death is waiting at the end of the road. The recognition that death is an inevitable part of life is not a call to pessimism or despair, but rather a reminder of the impermanence of all things. In Buddhism, we are encouraged to reflect on the certainty of death, not to live in fear of it, but to use this awareness as a tool for living with more intention and purpose. By acknowledging that death is the final destination of all our efforts, we are invited to question how we choose to spend our time and energy. For example, How often do we pour years of our lives into work that leaves us feeling unfulfilled, all in the pursuit of material possessions that we cannot take with us? Is it worth spending 2 decades working tirelessly to pay for a house or car that holds no lasting value? When we shift our focus to the impermanence of life, we gain a deeper understanding of what truly matters, things that transcend the material and the fleeting. The knowledge that death is a certainty encourages us to be more mindful of how we live each day. Just as we carry essential items like our phone or credit card, we might consider carrying with us a small notebook that serves as a reminder of what is most important in life. These reminders could be about the people we love, the moments that bring us joy, or the simple act of being present in the now. By reflecting on the shortness of life, we can recalibrate our priorities and ensure that we focus on what brings true fulfillment rather than getting lost in the distractions that consume our time. The awareness of life's impermanence helps us develop a more realistic and grounded view of our existence. Setbacks and failures, though challenging, are no longer perceived as the end of the world. Instead, we learn to embrace them as natural parts of life's ebb and flow. This understanding allows us to let go of unnecessary stress and embrace life with gratitude, knowing that each day is a precious gift. Ultimately, by remembering that death is waiting at the end of the road, we are encouraged to live more consciously, with greater clarity and a renewed sense of purpose. Understanding that our time on this earth is finite is a powerful realization. With this awareness, we are given the opportunity to make the most of every single moment. Rather than allowing ourselves to be consumed by trivial worries and distractions, we can choose to focus on what truly brings meaning to our lives: love, connection, wisdom, and fulfillment. This insight, though simple, has the potential to transform the way we experience life, guiding us toward living with purpose and intention. Throughout this video, we have explored 8 powerful principles that can help us cultivate inner peace, resilience, and wisdom in our daily lives. These teachings are not about escaping the challenges that life inevitably presents, but about learning to face those challenges with a clear mind and an open heart. Life will always bring its ups and downs, but it is how we respond to them that truly matters. By adopting these principles, we empower ourselves to live with greater emotional balance and mental clarity, allowing us to approach life's hurdles with grace and composure. One of the most profound teachings we can embrace is the ability to act as if nothing truly bothers us. This doesn't mean we are indifferent to the world around us, but rather, we choose to release unnecessary stress and focus on what truly matters. When we let go of external negativity and let our inner peace guide us, we can live more authentically and with greater joy. Every moment becomes an opportunity to align ourselves with what is essential: our relationships, our purpose, and the wisdom we gain along the way. As you go about your daily life, remember that peace and wisdom are within your reach. Life is fleeting, and it is up to us to make it count. By living with mindfulness, compassion, and an open heart, we are able to navigate the complexities of existence with a calm and centered mind. Keep these teachings close to your heart, and let them serve as a compass, guiding you toward a life filled with serenity, strength, and understanding. If you found value in this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more insights that can help you transform your life. Until next time, walk your path with confidence, and remember, nothing can truly disturb the peace of a mind rooted in wisdom.